Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Shripadaya Krishna Vistavitali Prabhupada Titya Shri Girirajaya Sarmani Subhattaradas Shripadaya Krishna Vistavitali Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinani Namaste Saraswati Gauravan Pacharini Vishishashini Vangum Langayate Girimyat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Guru Denata Shri. So we are reading from Shrimad Bhagavatam into chapter 2. We are doing text 29. It's quite a long verse and purport. So we recite it again. 28, 29. Vasudeva Paraveda Vasudeva Paramakha Vasudeva Parayoga Vasudeva Parahikriya Vasudeva Param Jnanam Vasudeva Param Tapah Vasudeva Paro Dharma Vasudeva Paragatihi. So we are in this chapter 2, first canto, chapter 2, and text 28, 29. Very beautiful verse. And I think I mentioned before that this verse will be repeated in other places in Bhagavatam. It's a prayer, it's a glorification of Vasudeva, Krishna. In the revealed scripture, this is translation, in the revealed scriptures, the ultimate object of knowledge is Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. So if, there are so many Shastras, whether it is Christian, Buddhist, Jain, Muslim, or whatever, we put aside these scriptures, then we go into the Vedic literature. There's so many, how can you study so many scriptures and everywhere, the different opinion and different goals? Makes sense. If you're studying a scripture, it should bring you to one goal only. Scripture means one goal, one object, right? So here, very explicitly, is being said that in the revealed scripture, the ultimate object of knowledge is Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. The ultimate object of knowledge, all right? So meaning that there are intermediate knowledge, there is, first rung knowledge, second rung knowledge, 10th rung knowledge, but the ultimate, right? There has to be an ultimate object of knowledge. Otherwise, it's no use studying this Shastra or any scripture. It's just no use. The purpose of performing sacrifice, so meaning that the scriptures are telling us about sacrifice. And there's so many different types of sacrifice. But the purpose has to be one. There has to be an ultimate goal in the sacrifice. So it is to satisfy Krishna. Yoga, there are so many yoga processes, starting with karma, jnana, ashtanga. It spoke of kriya yoga, etc., all the different rungs of yoga. But the final goal of the yoga has to be one only. All fruitive activities are ultimately rewarded by him only. Ultimately, meaning that even though I do this yagya, that yagya, and I satisfy this secretary, that minister, this one, that one, but there has to be somebody who is authorizing the result of work, right? His supreme knowledge and all severe austerities are performed to know him. to know him. Religion, dharma, is rendering. Now, finally, the conclusion is this. Religion, dharma, is rendering loving service unto him. He is the supreme goal of life. He is the supreme goal of life. So this is a summary. So now, Ushaji, can you read? We are on knowledge now. This is the third paragraph, is it?
Yes, we stopped where this is also for the culture of knowledge, yes.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Just read from there.
This is also so for the culture of knowledge. According to Bhagavad Gita, there are 18 items in culturing knowledge. By such culture of knowledge, one becomes gradually prideless, devoid of vanity, non-violent, forbearing, simple, devoted to the great spiritual master, and self-controlled. By culture of knowledge, one becomes unattached to hearth and home and becomes conscious of the miseries due to death, birth, old age, and disease. And all culture of knowledge accumulates in devotional service to the personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Therefore, Vasudeva is the ultimate aim in culturing all different branches of knowledge. Culture of knowledge leading one to the transcendental plane of meeting Vasudeva is real knowledge. Physical knowledge in its various branches is condemned in the Bhagavad Gita as ajnana, or the opposite of real knowledge. The ultimate aim of physical knowledge is to satisfy the senses, which means prolongation of the term of material existence and thereby continuance of the threefold miseries. So prolonging the miserable life of material existence is nescience. But the same physical knowledge leading to the way of spiritual understanding helps one to end the miserable life of physical existence and to begin the life of spiritual existence on the plane of Vasudeva.
Okay, now let's examine this. So 18 items. So this is from, is it chapter 13, 8 to 12? According to Bhagavad Gita, 18 items in cultural knowledge. So what are they? So when we have knowledge, one becomes gradually prideless. This is very interesting, meaning that it doesn't happen overnight that we become prideless, right? Okay. Why? Knowledge, meaning the more you become advanced, sorry. The more you become advanced, the more you become aware that we are small and insignificant. Become aware that there are many others who are glorious, who have knowledge, who are humble. Yeah. Who are advanced in devotional service, who are advanced in heart. So the more you study and the more you observe the world, you start to understand that, we are not number one. Usually we believe we are the best. There's nobody better than me. So with culture of knowledge, gradually start to dawn on you. Just like this morning, I don't know how many of you listen to our Bhagavatam classes. Now speaking in Hindi, very, very simple, very, I'm listening to this simple looking person. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what a Mahatma. Actually, whatever I teach you, it's the gist of what I hear from so many devotees, young, old, middle, whatever. you know, and then I started thinking that this person is worth offering obeisances, right? So this is what happens. So by such culture of knowledge, one becomes gradually prideless. So I realized there's somebody who's better than me. And then I realized there are many who are better than me. So we become prideless. Devoid of vanity. Don't want to show off, right? Devoid of vanity. Non-violent. Non-violent. So this term non-violent has many meanings. Besides ahimsa in the sense of not causing physical violence to others, but it also means, Prabhupada says, knowledge to others. When you don't give knowledge to others, you're being violent with the soul. In Bhagavad Gita, this very same term, you can check it. So not to take the trouble, if you have knowledge and you don't share that knowledge with others, or you don't give the knowledge to others through Prabhupada's books, then you are being violent. Because you're allowing somebody to kill their own souls. Ignorance is such a thing that the person will do sinful activities and he will kill his own soul. I mean, today's class, it was such a preliminary, basic, after you have spent many years hearing Bhagavatam. And this was actually from 11th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, which is like a summary of the entire Bhagavatam. And this devotee, very simple, so many, he was speaking simple thing, but with so much depth. The whole cycle of birth and death, he's seeing the whole transmigration of the soul in the 84 lakh yoni. It should be there in ISKCON Mumbai YouTube channel, today's class. You just listen to this person, So, non-violent meaning that not allowing the soul to glide down into those 84 lakh yoni, meaning, and he said 80 lakh, because 4 lakh are human beings. Now, if you become human being, you become like animal, right? We take birth in the jungle, subhuman, right? Aborigines. So if you don't give knowledge to human beings, so we again capture this. You should listen to that class. Simple, basic knowledge, but it's on this point of non-violence. Forbearing, when you're dealing. See now, some of us have been around for some years and some are new, young, So we learn to tolerate when a child makes a mistake or shows some pride or shows possessiveness, right? We tolerate? What's her name? Kailash, no? Kailash, you have grandchildren, is it? Kailash is there. She have grandchildren. Looks like she's not there. Anyway, so she's there. So I'm just saying that Kailash has grandchildren, and grandchildren they do grandchildren things, right? And grandmother tolerates, isn't it? grandmother tolerates. So similarly, when we are dealing with the public or with people who are coming now to Krishna consciousness, very new people, so when they do things that irritate us, if we are devotees, we are chanting, we are practicing, then what? We are forbearing, right? We excuse their mistakes. We don't take it seriously. We are patient. We don't compete with them. All right? It is insane to compete with somebody who is junior. Is it true? If somebody is junior, either in age or in knowledge or in behavior, you don't compete with that person. So we are forbearing. And then sometimes people, they'll insult us also. I just heard somebody sent one video about compassion. This is Mahatma Das Prabhu. I don't know if you know him, Mahatma Das Prabhu. So he's saying that when we are out in the street, so we distribute books or with people, they insult us, right? We don't take it seriously. But when you come home or you're in the society and community of devotees, and when they say or do things to you, you take it very seriously, right? Take it extremely, and they say the home people hurt more than anybody else, right? So this quality of being forbearing is very useful, extremely useful. So please go and open your Bhagavad Gita, check Prabhupada describes, he gives one paragraph on each of these qualities. 13, 8, 12. Simple. Simple. What's your simplicity? You want to please Krishna. You have come to Krishna consciousness with a goal, right? You want to improve yourself. You want to improve your own life. You want to develop your love for Krishna. Remain simple your entire life and you're fine. Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shribhir. Janma meaning high birth. Oh, this one, he is aristocratic and I'm just a simple person. Or I am aristocratic and just see the others, they are nobodies, right? Janma Aishwarya, see how wealthy I am. And this person, they're running around in rickshaw, right? I have so many servants, I have this, that, right? Aishwarya Shruta, I'm so knowledgeable. I have so many degrees. And this one, hardly you can pronounce the words, right? Shruta, Shribhir, I'm so beautiful. So, the entire world can go on that path. Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shribhir. But for me, whether, 20 years ago I was Miss India or now I'm nobody, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. My goal remained the same. When I was Miss India and I thought, what am I doing? Let me take to Krishna consciousness. It was a simplicity of mind that makes somebody give up a high position and take to a simple goal. Let me be devotee of Krishna. Throughout life, that simplicity has to remain. The day we forget it, again we admire. Oh, come on. This eyes dumb. Okay, devoted to the great spiritual master. Did you notice what happened? I was moving around, and it put up a message on this. Oh, your hand is up since so long. Put it down, So today I went, to this doctor, So actually, when I met her, So she told me I have been away from, I have been on holiday for a few days, but I've been on the phone, I've been following up everything, how you are doing. And then she told me that my husband said, you on holiday or you at work? Because you are at home, but you're on the phone all the time, what's going on, then this lady, I mean, this is very nice. This lady told her husband, you are dealing with machines. I'm dealing with human beings. And which was very heartwarming, to know that your doctor cares sufficiently for you because you are a human being, right? So this is just a side point. Last week also that AI popped up, put down your hand, you have spoken. When they capture my hand up and they put me on, I don't know. Then they send a silly message, put down your hand. Okay, simple. Yeah, let's be simple, right? When we are not simple, so AI is capturing our intention, right? Not understanding that Indians speak with their hands. When I was small, when I was small, that was one remark all the time. You don't just speak, your hands, your hands speak, So American AI doesn't know that Indians speak with their hands. Mudra. All right, so knowledge. Devoted to the great spiritual master. Knowledge means, okay. So, this is also an important point that after you've been running this place, that place, opening this book, that one, finally you will say, I can't understand. Let me go and ask somebody who knows. Is it true? All right. Tired of trying to figure it out by yourself. So finally you say, yes, let me find a spiritual master and let me inquire from him, and we are devoted to learn from him. And self-control, self-control. We have a small book right now, Srila Prabhupada, is called Path of Perfection. Path of Perfection, a minute. I showed this book to you last week, Path of Perfection. Please read this book. It is Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada has given more details. These are lectures on chapter 6 and 8. So this point about self-control, because I can't go into so much detail to explain what is self-control. But one thing I can remember, that when I was a child, not child, but teenager, and the girls started having boyfriends and taking drugs and all. And I went to the best school of the island. And that's where it was happening the most, drugs and boyfriends. So then the talk was moving around why this is happening, because they don't know how to control themselves, right? So this was like a word that's known in society, that you control yourself. And it's just coming naturally that you have to control yourself. But now, this is like, now I'm in my 60s, so meaning that when I was 15 years old, so meaning 45, 50 years later, nobody speaks about control, right? You should control yourself. Nobody speaks. So where do you find it? Only in disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Right? only those who come in touch with the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, they speak about self-control. And this book, it's lectures by Prabhupada, in great detail, Srila Prabhupada elaborates on this point of control, the mind, what is the mind, how the mind works, and how to control that mind. So when you control the mind, then the self becomes superior to the mind. Self-controlled. By the culture of knowledge, one becomes unattached to hearth and home. How much happiness can you derive from the best of hearth and home? You can have the best of parents. You can have the best of brothers and sisters. All right? You don't know who suddenly may enter the family and completely disrupt your entire family. Right? Whether it is somebody gets married in the family or a child is born in the family, right? There's no guarantee of happiness in the hearth and home. Zero guarantee. So therefore, when we have knowledge that we are not the soul, we are not the body, we are the soul. Again, listen to this class, today's class. It's in Hindi. It's in Hindi, so I don't know how many of you understand Hindi. And he has quite an accent also. So this point about how many among all the millions of parents I've had, all the millions of husbands and wives and children and grandchildren I have produced, which one belong to you? Powerful. So when this knowledge dawns on us, then one becomes unattached. Unattached. So, and then what one becomes conscious of the miseries due to death, birth, old age, and disease. Frankly speaking, I never thought of old age. Old age was only, my grandmother and my grandfather. And every oldie who's holding, a stick. Now less and less people hold stick. But previously, as soon as certain age come, immediately everybody has a stick. So, but now when it is on me, so say, oh, okay. I always thought that you get, cured when you're sick. You get cured, right? You're sick for, 1 week or 3 days, usually 3 days, and then it becomes more prolonged, 5 days, then maybe 1 week. Okay, 3 months. And then when you become older, you wonder, will I recuperate? I didn't know that you can recuperate. Especially when everybody tell you, oh, you're so young. What is your age? You say, oh, you're so young. You say, oh, when is old age? Right? Age, meaning if I die tomorrow, right? So, meaning I'm old today, right? So this putting off the idea of death and old age and death, putting off that idea. And therefore, and why, when I put off those ideas, I become unconscious of the misery that comes from birth, death, disease, and old age. I become unconscious. So when I actually become aware of these four, that death is a calamity, birth is a calamity, right? Who believes his or her birth is auspicious? Mangalam. Who believes? that my birth is auspicious, right? Badhai, say, congratulations for your birth, right? That's what we do, isn't it? So this knowledge, culture of knowledge, when there is culture of knowledge, what do we do when my birth date comes? What do we do? Maharaji, what do we do when?
Well, we celebrate the we actually, it's an illusion. We celebrate getting 1 year older. I don't know why, and then we do the opposite of our tradition. We blow candles out. We blow the light out.
When you are dying 1 more year.
Yes, we don't realize.
Celebrating and coming closer to death.
Celebrating getting closer to the finish line.
Finish line, yeah.
Anupama Mishra, what do we do? What is the Vedic knowledge? I'm speaking here, the culture of knowledge when it comes to our birthday.
Did you ask me, Mataji?
Yes, yes.
They perform homams on the particular star that day. They perform sacrifices, yagya. So it is more for earning more punya that day because people do a lot of tuladan and charities.
Yeah. One minute, it's just my phone is screaming. Hare Krishna. Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yo, my medicine has come, so this is disease, right? Yeah, so on that day, we become aware. See, Krishna Janma is different from our. That is celebration, right? That is actual celebration.
Unfortunately, Mataji, all the folk songs when a child is born, like in UP, I know that all the folk songs when a child is born are related to either Sri Rama or Sri Krishna. So they will remember Yashoda, and because all the songs, it is a celebration, but these two, all the songs mention them.
Yes, meaning that the actual celebration is for Rama or Krishna, right? So actually on our birthday, which unfortunately I didn't know, but I saw my aunt does, the way she celebrated the birthday was, as you're saying, with katha, Havan and katha, and inviting people, right? Inviting people because there's a debt, you're paying off your debt. It is so amangalam that I have taken birth, right? So unfortunate that I have taken birth, but I'm now a human being. I'm getting the opportunity to repay back my debts, right? I have debts towards who? The ancestors, right? My Pitri. I have debt towards the Devas. I have debt towards my parents. I have debt towards all the rishis who are giving me knowledge. And I have debt to all those who make me born and then is feeding me, making me grow up, right? See, when you become sick and dependent, this is when you start to realize how many people you need to put together to take care of your body, right? So many people have to come together just for our poor body, right? So these are all debts that we owe. So on our birth, birth of this body, which is indebted in so many ways to so many, then what do? We do a homa, we chant Hare Krishna, we do Harinama Sankirtan, we give prasadam. And if we are grihastha, then we give gifts, right? We give gifts. We don't receive gifts, we give gifts. Isn't it? As far as I know, understand, gifts are given to newly wedded couples. Is it so? Why?
The new beginnings in the Western world, that's how they count it.
Yes.
In the Western world, you give gifts for weddings as a token of their life together, their new life, new beginning together.
Yes. Any other practical reason?
Mataji, they used to give household items like a
Yes.
mixer or a cooker.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're setting up your home, right? So many people come and help you set up your home, right? And as usual, when the samskar is happening, you are giving back the gifts. Like I see here, people bring, I don't know whether they still bring gifts, but the host will spend quite a lot in return gifts, isn't it? Right? And now they come to the temple, they take Bhagavad Gita and they give Bhagavad Gita as return gift. It's an exchange. So this is called culture of knowledge. Not ignorance when you don't know what you're doing, right? You're blowing the candles. Okay, where are we? Okay, yeah. All culture of knowledge culminates in devotional service. The person Godhead Vasudeva. Meaning that the whole list that we have enumerated here, finally it is so that I can please Vasudeva. If I'm humble and Vasudeva is pleased by my humility, right? I'm successful, right? If I'm simple, if I'm devoted to the spiritual master, if I'm self-controlled, right? If I'm aware of the misery of birth, death, disease, and old age, if I'm aware of it, and therefore I deal appropriately with these, then if this pleases Vasudeva, then whatever endeavor I may have made in that direction is successful. So it says here, all culture of knowledge culminates in devotional service to the person of Godhead, Vasudeva. Are you able to follow this? If I'm humble, I have no vanity, I'm aware of the miseries of birth, death, disease, and old age. If I'm waking up, I'm developing good qualities, automatically Vasudeva will be pleased that finally, this foolish jeev is waking up, right? He's sleeping in total ignorance. Finally, he's waking up or she's waking up. So Vasudeva is pleased, and therefore this is called devotional service. A simple definition of devotional service. Samsirir Haritoshana. If my endeavor, my attitude pleases Hari, then this is called devotional service. Therefore, Vasudeva is the ultimate aim in culturing all different branches of knowledge. Culture of knowledge leading one to the transcendental plane of meeting Vasudeva is real knowledge. Prabhupada now is contrasting real knowledge with ignorance. Physical knowledge in its various branches. So this is the contrast. You have seen now what is real knowledge. Usually when say, yeah, I have knowledge. What do you know? What do you mean by knowledge? The list is being given here, all physical knowledge. And Bhagavatam, Shishya Upanishad is calling that agyan. You know, what am I? I'm a technical engineer. I'm a medical person. I'm a painter. I'm this, I'm that. These are all knowledge in physical world, and everything is meant only for sense gratification. So it has no value. The ultimate aim of physical knowledge is to satisfy the senses, which means prolonging of the term of material existence, and thereby continuance of the threefold miseries. Just like Anupama, she just told us, you know how when a child is born, so the folk songs, when a child is born, is relating the pastimes of Krishna and Rama, right? Meaning this is how we have transformed physical birth into spiritual birth. Transforming physical birth into spiritual birth. But now, except for Anupama and maybe a few others, nobody knows this, right? So we only know I don't know what people sing when there is a birthday party or when there is childbirth. I don't know what they sing. I saw one lady, just yesterday, a small baby like this, small baby. She's holding this small baby in front of Radha Ras Bihari. And the pujari is coming, and I don't know whether I think she had a lotus flower, a lotus flower she offered to Radha Ras Bihari. But this baby is so tiny, and the mother doesn't even know how to hold that baby, And I'm thinking, she doesn't know how to take care of a baby? Young women who don't have mothers or mother-in-laws with them don't know. So the child can get damaged. So this is physical knowledge, but no spiritual knowledge. What I'm saying is that the Vedic knowledge is good both physically and spiritually. Like, sometime it happened that, like I just met this lady, she's like an Ayurvedic therapist. She told me that the work that she's doing in the village, everybody knows how to do this. And you don't spend money. But in the city, you go on spending money, still you don't get cured. But in the village, everybody knows, okay, you go in the garden, you pick this leaf, or you just pull a leg, you pull a hand, you pull a string in the tummy, everything is set, right? And here you sit in the cities, congested cities, and then your tummy becomes hard, right? And you go on running this doctor, that doctor, right? So, this knowledge, culture of knowledge, where Vasudeva is involved, even though it is physical knowledge, but it is beneficial. All right, it is beneficial. So here, and I was going to use this word, it prolongs life, Ayurveda. Ayur means that which prolongs your knowledge, that prolongs your lifespan. So here, the ultimate aim of physical knowledge is to satisfy the senses, which means prolongation of the term of material existence, and thereby continuance of the threefold miseries. So prolonging the material, miserable life of material existence in this science, So I'm sitting and thinking, okay, now I'm suffering, and if I die, again I will be born again, and again I have to go through the same thing. Right? I'm conscious now how I'm suffering. Before I didn't know. I thought we get cured. I didn't know someday you don't get cured and it just go bad, worse and worse and worse. So knowledge means that you observe. You observe the body and understanding that you're not the soul. But nescience means that you want to save the body and you make all your endeavors to save the body. And while you're making endeavors to save the body, at the same time, you're enjoying all types of sense gratification. That is making sure that your body will die and reborn again. And again, observation. In Kali Yuga, people, even physically, they don't like to take care of themselves. Unless you're a Bollywood star and you want to look, slim. Everybody think that I'm a Bollywood star because I'm very slim. People are, and when I was a child, they used to say I look like a scarecrow, And I'm so thin. Why are you so thin? It was such a shame to be so thin. But now it's such a pride, right? To go on reducing until you look like me, with nothing. So prolonging the miserable life of material existence needs science. But the same physical knowledge leading to the way of spiritual understanding I have just described. Okay? Same physical knowledge leading to spiritual understanding helps one to end the miserable life of physical existence and to begin the life of spiritual existence on the plane of Vasudeva. So knowledge means that, okay, I should study, so it's behavior. Now we have understood that knowledge doesn't simply mean, the physical knowledge, right? How to earn your living, how to look beautiful, right? How to, strategize yourself so that you climb the corporate ladder and defeat the others and you make sure you reach there, right? Jnana means your attitude, your understanding, your capacity of tolerance, your simplicity, your devotion to Guru, your self-control. This is knowledge. It's pretty intense, no? I don't know if we have time for one more. Okay, Malaji, do you want to read?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. The same applies to all kinds of austerities. Tapasya means voluntary acceptance of bodily pains to achieve some higher end of life. Ravana and Hiranyakashipu underwent a severe type of bodily torture to achieve the end of sense gratification. Sometimes modern politicians also undergo severe types of austerities to achieve some political end. This is not actually tapasya. One should accept voluntary bodily inconvenience for the sake of knowing Vasudev, because that is the way of real austerities. Otherwise, all forms of austerities are classified as modes of passion and ignorance. Passion and ignorance cannot end the miseries of life. Only the mode of goodness can mitigate the threefold miseries of life. Vasudev and Devaki, the so-called father and mother of Lord Krishna, underwent penances to get Vasudev as their son. Lord Sri Krishna is the father of all living beings. Bhagavad Gita 14, chapter 14, verse 4. Therefore, he is the original living being of all other living beings. He is the original eternal enjoyer amongst all other enjoyers. Therefore, no one can be his begetting father, as the ignorant may think. Lord Krishna agreed to become the son of Vasudeva and Devaki upon being pleased with their severe austerities. Therefore, if any austerities have to be done, they must be done to achieve the end of knowledge, Vasudeva.
This is about austerity. So, tapasya means voluntary acceptance of bodily pains to achieve some higher end of life. But we don't want to be like Ravan, right? We do tapasya for sense enjoyment. Right? But we are being trained to do tapasya for sense enjoyment. Every child in India, every child is sent to school and do tapasya for sense enjoyment. It. Go on studying, be confined in a school with millions of books on your back, right? Then you finish this, and they start very young, and then, finish this, then take the next degree, all austerity, right? Which you don't like, which you hate. Whereas austerity performed to please Krishna is rewarding. It gives happiness. It gives good health. It brings peace of mind. It brings a higher goal. It means it brings hope. It brings hope that whatever I'm putting in is not in vain, because there is a definite result at the end of it. Because you achieve Krishna as you invest in austerity. It's not like a post-dated check, let me get my certificate, let me get my degree first, and then, I will get a job, then you don't get a job, then what do? Right? So reward in spiritual austerity is day to day. It's just day-to-day reward. And it accumulates, it goes accumulating. Until if we reach perfection, then no more birth and no more death. Okay, Anupama, you want to read?
Vasudev is the original personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. As explained before, the original personality of Godhead expands himself by innumerable forms. Such expansion of forms is made possible by his various energies. His energies are also multifarious, and his internal energies are superior and external energies inferior in quality. They are explained in Bhagavad Gita 7.4 to 6 as the para and the apara prakritis. So his expansions of various forms which take place via the internal energies are superior forms, whereas the expansions which take place via the external energies are inferior forms. The living entities are also his expansions. The living entities who are expanded by his internal potency are internally liberated persons, whereas those who are expanded in terms of the material energies are eternally conditioned souls. Therefore, all culture of knowledge, austerities, sacrifice, and activities should be aimed at changing the quality of the influence that is acting upon us. For the present, we are all being controlled by the external energy of the Lord. And just to change the quality of the influence, we must endeavor to cultivate spiritual energy. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that those who are Mahatmas, or those whose minds have been so broadened as to be engaged in the service of Lord Krishna, are under the influence of the internal potency. And the effect is that such broad minded living beings are constantly engaged in the service of the Lord without deviation. That should be the aim of life, and that is the verdict of all the Vedic literatures. No one should bother himself with fruitive activities or dry speculation about transcendental knowledge. Everyone should at once engage himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Nor should one worship different demigods who work as different hands of the Lord for creation, maintenance, or destruction of the material world. There are innumerable powerful demigods who look over the external management of the material world. They are all different assisting hands of Lord Vasudeva. Even Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma are included in the list of demigods, but Lord Vishnu or Vasudeva is always transcendentally situated. Even though he accepts the quality of goodness of the material world, he is still transcendental to all the material modes. The following example will clear that matter more explicitly. In the prison house, there are the prisoners and the managers of the prison house. Both the managers and the prisoners are bound by the laws of the king. But even though the king sometimes comes in the prison, he is not bound by the laws of the prison house. The king is therefore always transcendental to the laws of the prison house, as the Lord is always transcendental to the laws of the material world.
Yeah, these energies. Para and apara prakriti, external and internal potencies of the Lord. Do you remember this? Do you remember this? Okay, Usha, let's revise. What is external energy? What is internal energy? What is superior energy? What is inferior energy?
Antaranga Shak- um,
Yeah. Okay.
is real. Is that what you mean? Is that what you're saying? Are we talking?
Antaranga Shakti is what?
That's what is real, whereas Baharangi Shakti is temporary and illusionary. Is that what we're
Yeah, Antaranga Shakti is the internal potency of the Lord,
Oh, it's internal. Okay.
right? And is superior energy of the Lord, right? And Bahiranga Shakti is the external energy and inferior energy of the Lord. And the soul who is internal has become caught in the inferior energy. You know, I don't know whether you're observant, but if by good luck you go to a clinic, okay? Go to a clinic. And at least here, you know, like just now I went and I saw, you know, so they put this TV, because these days they advertise themselves, you know. So I saw this main doctor, you know, so he has taken a body. So he has taken a body and it's like a dissection of the body. So meaning you can see what's inside. So I'm thinking, oh my God, that's what my body is, and I'm living inside. Right? I'm living inside. And then all the hoo-ha, you know, that I'm feeling. Right? it's all the mechanism of this external body, and poor me, I'm feeling everything, right? So here Prabhupada is saying, all culture of knowledge, austerities, jnana, tapasya, yajna, and activities, kriya, should be aimed at changing the quality of the influence that is acting upon us. So what is acting upon us right now? It is the inferior energy. It is binding us. For the present, we are all controlled by the external energy of the Lord. And just to change the quality of the influence, we must endeavor to cultivate spiritual energy. And this is what Prabhupada is giving us, chanting of the holy name, offering our food to Krishna, satsanga, pilgrimage, right? Worshipping the deities, and so on. This is the process by which we change the material quality into spiritual quality. So then Prabhupada speaks, oh God, which verse is that? Mahatmanastumam Partha should be in chapter 7. So this entire purport is simply quotation from Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, please make sure that you know your Bhagavad Gita very well. All right. Mahatma, one whose mind is broad. Mahatma. So what does he do? He engages himself in the service of the Lord. And they are Devi, Prakriti, Ashritaha. They are under the shelter of Devi Shakti and not Maya Shakti. Maya Shakti, what does it make you do? It makes you run after sense gratification. Makes you run after making more and more and more money. You have sufficient to live, still you say, let me increase. Right? You have one, it's not sufficient, let me increase the quality of that car. You know, I have 5 clothes, sets of clothes. It's, of course, now there are different seasons. So if you have 3 seasons, you may need 5 sets of clothes for each season. Like in India, you know, you don't know which season it is, unfortunately. If you will use your winter clothes during the summer, you'll die, right? If you use your summer clothing during the winter, you'll die. So unfortunately, you need to have 5 multiplied by 3, right? Okay, that's basic. And you're not using it all the time. But you've got your basics, and still you're not satisfied. You want to increase and increase. I don't know, I heard that this one woman, she has 5,000 saris. Some type of Bollywood actress. 5, I mean, every day, meaning 365 multiplied by, I don't know. I think she never gives away her sari or what? So, that should be the aim of life. And that is the verdict of all Vedic literatures, meaning please Krishna. No one should bother himself with fruitive activities, or I just described fruitive activities. You know, work to accumulate more and more. So, or do, you know, all types of yajna so that I get more and more wealth or whatever, position. Or dry speculation about transcendental knowledge. I mean, you know, we may think it's, you know, what's that? Exhausting or austerity to run after sense gratification, but to run after knowledge also can be really, really exhausting. You want to know more and more, you try this channel, that channel, this book, that book. You join this course, that course, you put your all the time running to acquire more and more information, right? Can be very exhausting. Everyone should at once engage himself in the transcendental, loving service of the Lord. Yeah, so now demigod worship, we touch upon this. Shiva, Brahma, who do you want to worship? Worship Vasudeva. All right. The following example will clear that matter more explicitly. In the prison house, there are the prisoners and the managers. This is about devas. So managers and prisoners, and they are both bound by the laws of the king. But the king sometimes come in the prison. He's not bound by the laws of the prison house. The king is therefore always transcendental to the laws of the prison house. You just imagine if you work in a prison house, what does that mean? If you work in a prison house, what does it mean? Every day you have to go from your nice home and you have to enter the prison house. What does it mean? It means you're a prisoner, right?
It's prisoner, jail, yeah.
Right? It means you're a prisoner.
Yeah.
The only difference is that every day you open the gate and come out. Isn't it?
Mm.
So the devas are like that. They're working within the material world. So therefore, they are in the same situation as everybody else, but on a higher cost. And they have more facilities. And the king is therefore always transcendental to the laws of the prison house. But when Vishnu comes in, he's not bound. He's not bound because he comes only occasionally. And even when he comes, actually in this material world, Vishnu has his own planet. But that planet is Vaikuntha, free from anxiety, free from birth, death, disease, and old age. All right, so we managed to complete this text today. So next week we will study text 30. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
All right, so next week.
Hare
Yes,
Hare Krishna. Thank